South Dakota
Thank you.
Senator Mike Rounds joins me. Sir, you've been listening to this. Your thoughts on what we've just heard, the report from Zach?
Cautiously optimistic that we might be making some progress. Congratulations to the president and his team. I think President Trump's direct involvement in the fact that he once again believes in peace through strength is coming through. The fact that he has been directly involved and he is bringing the team with him, other members of the community in that area, all together demanding that Hamas accept the peace agreement. That's pretty powerful. I don't know if there's another president that's been able to do that in the past.
But they didn't accept it. As best I can figure out, they say that they're going to release the hostages, which I don't believe, because they're not just going to release the hostages unless everything else is in line. I mean, I can't imagine that, because if they release the hostages, I would assume that Netanyahu would just go in and roll over them at that point.
Look, I totally agree, but let's start with this way. Let's verify, let's not trust. We're dealing with a terrorist organization. But the fact that they're responding right now, and we put the pressure on them with our allies in the Middle East, that's a step in the right direction. We're moving in the right direction. Let's allow the president to continue this operation.
What would you expect if they have not agreed to everything? They just say that they're going to release the hostages, and President Trump had put on the table, and Netanyahu, this is the deal, accept it or don't. But they want to now negotiate it, and now we've gone to 6 o'clock on Sunday. Then what? At
that stage of the game, based upon the president's own judgment, he may very well say, time's up. But at the same time, look, he wants to get peace. I truly believe this president is looking for peace. If he sees an opportunity to have peace in that part of the world, that is a major stride forward. But let's allow the president the opportunity to work his magic.
And if Hamas would, by any token, if they were to release the 50, so that would be a huge step forward.
We've made progress.
Huge progress. All right, now turning to what we thought we'd be talking about. What's going on in your neck of the woods up in the Senate? Seems like we don't have a funded government.
We don't. Look, we're still in a Schumer shutdown. And I know that's cliche, but it is. It is a Schumer shutdown is what we're dealing with right now. Members of his own team over there are saying, we're not exactly sure why we're doing this. I know we've got to be in a shirts and skins game for a while, but they're getting tired of it. And what we're doing is trying to provide them with ample opportunities to see a path forward. And that means taking care of a lot of the things that they cared about. John Thune has done a marvelous job of saying, we're going to get back to regular order. We're going to do appropriations bills where everybody has a say in them. We're going to do the National Defense Authorization Act where everybody has a say in it. We're making progress.
If they vote on the clean resolution, but much like this deal that President Trump put on the table for Hamas, to, accept it or not, it seems like this continuing resolution, it came over from the House, and now the Senate has basically voted down, is that it's accepted or not. If you accept it, we'll have more negotiation.
No, what we're saying is stop the Schumer shutdown.
And then what happens?
At that point, then we go back to regular order. Some people will say, well, can they trust you? And the evidence is take a look at our track record. We've already passed 3 appropriation bills out of the Senate. We've got 3 more ready to come to the House. Today, the leaders said very clearly, we're going to get those back in. We're going to do the conference committee reports. We're going to bring the other 3 to the floor. We're going to do the National Defense Authorization Act. That's what our Democrat colleagues wanted in the first place. And so our message is this is where you put amendments on the floor. This is where you have an opportunity to bring up those items that you feel strongly about. And as you know, there are certain areas that they feel very strongly about, and they want an opportunity to vote on issues.
2 things. One is that Schumer needs to save face if it comes right down. So you got to give him something. So I don't know what you're going to give him. Secondly, is that what the House asked for in the continuing resolution is basically, as I say in court, a continuance until November 21st. Everything was supposed to be done on September 30th. We know every single year is supposed to be done on November 30th. It never does get done on November 30th. We have these huge dramas in the risk of shutdown we just got. Why can't this be done before September 30 every year, since we know that day is going to come around?
That was our goal this year. And once again, we did get 3 of them completed and out and over. They've been conferenced. We're back in ready to vote. We've also got the next 3 coming out of the appropriations.
All of them? I don't understand. I have to be here every night for an hour. I can't just say I'll show up for 45 minutes and maybe I'll do another 15 later.
Look, we're trying not to place blame any place, but you've still got to get a budget from the president. And if it's 45 days late getting into the Senate to begin with, that's a month and a half before you can do it.
Do you need a budget from the president?
Well,
I mean, because it's non-binding.
That's what we're supposed to work on. But we started early anyway. And so are we doing our best to get them out and to get them across the floor? Yes. But one member of the Senate can hold up action based upon, you have to have a cloture vote on each one, which means you have to have basically the thing saying we're going to stop and we're going to actually vote at a particular time on a particular issue. But are we going to get closer? Yes. Many of us have suggested that maybe the best thing to do this is to actually do a 2-year budget, where you do it once every 2 years and you use the other year to do oversight, to go back through everything. Another alternative is to do a 2-year budget with doing half of the appropriations each year for each of the 2 years, and then once again go back in and do oversight to see whether or not it's working.
Well, when you have a shutdown and somebody's back on his heels, and I think Senator Schumer is back on his heels, and he's got political considerations besides his consideration to be the leader of the Democratic Party in the Senate, is he's got to be able to save face so that it's like two lawyers coming out of the courthouse. They both want to say they won. And so you've got to give Schumer, in order for Schumer to tell his cats, to do something, he's got to be able to say, I got something for you. What is it you can give him that the Republicans can live with that he can then say that he won?
2 parts. First of all, we're not sure that Senator Schumer can give in at all. It may be some of the other more reasonable members of the Senate that will simply say, look, we understand that Senator Schumer can't do that because of the position that he's in, but there's a group of us that are going to step forward and do it anyway.
And you need, what,
That's one
10?
option.
10?
We'll take 10,
Okay.
right? That way nobody gets blamed for being the last one up. Okay, the other piece on it might very well be if there are negotiations, then it's a responsibility that Senator Schumer has to come to the majority leader, Senator Thune, and say, these are the things that I want to get done, and to have an in-person discussion. Senator Thune is the only member of the Senate who has the authority to make those deals.
And he seems a pretty reasonable guy.
He's a very reasonable guy, and his goal is to get us back to what we call regular order, which is out in front of everybody where they can see every single appropriation bill. People can see what we're voting on, what's in the bills, instead of what Senator Schumer wanted to do all the time, which was an omnibus bill, which is somewhere between 2,500 and 5,000 pages with lots of stuff written in it that nobody sees.
And not only that, when you try to read the pages, they don't even seem to follow from one
That's
page
right.
to the next. It's pretty crazy sometimes. Senator Mike Rounds in the great state of South Dakota. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
For